Okay.
Uh, Hello again, Mr. Arjen Lucassen. This is Jordi Tárrega and Yolanda Sabater from me from Barcelona and she from Canterbury. It is an absolute pleasure to talk with you. So congratulations for your new album, Songs No One Will Hear, and thank you for this interview. Let's start with where are you right now?
So where I am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm always at home. I'm a really boring recluse, and you will always find me at home. So that's in Holland, and the weather is nice, not too hot today, and yeah, in a little village by the sea. So there you go.
Okay, so upcoming album after 13 years of your solo project, let's say,
Right, yeah.
and about the end of the world. Why this inspiration and why this, why this idea comes to your mind?
Well, I always start with the music. So I got this little phone here, and I always got a guitar close by, and I always record these little ideas. And at some point, I take all these little ideas from my phone and I put them in the computer in the studio, and I listen to them. And then I always hope that the music will inspire me to come up with a concept or with a story and with the lyrics. So this time, the songs were very eclectic. You know, there were some very happy songs, very sad songs, very small songs, very big songs. So I needed a concept that would reflect that. And all my albums are about human emotions. You know, I love writing about humans. So I thought I needed something where there are lots of different emotions. And I thought, you know, what would people do if they knew they only had 5 months to live? I thought that was very interesting. I could do a lot with it because everyone would do something different. You know, one person would like take their last holiday, or one person would just close the curtains and not want to know about it, or maybe a father who hasn't seen his son in 20 years, you know, will visit his son. So I wrote down all these ideas, and I had like 20 ideas, and I thought, yeah, that's a perfect concept. So it's not really about the end of the world. It's not really about an asteroid. It's about what are people gonna do with their lives.
And if there are only 5 months, what Arjen Lucassen will do? Mm.
Well, yeah, in the story, it's about Sanctuary Island. And Sanctuary Island is the island where the meteorite or the asteroid will actually hit the Earth. Um, and there is this guy called Dr. Slumber, who is a character from my previous solo album, who arranges a bus tour to the island with a blue bus, um, to have first class tickets to the end of the world. You know, I would want to be there. You know, I would want to be on the island. I would want to see the asteroid come and get it over with quickly. You know, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of the world and there's total chaos and starvation and people fighting and tsunamis and you know. So I would want to go to the island, and my vision of the island is that it's all nice people. It's all like hippies like me, you know, all holding hands and singing. And I think one of the songs is called "Just Not Today." I think that sums it up basically. You know, we're all gonna die, just not today. So let's make the best of our day.
I bet even the last day of the world, you will be composing and playing the guitar. So even you are looking this hitting the sun, you will be with a guitar for sure.
Right.
So about the cover of the album, I think the idea is simple, but you are in a beach with a guitar and a dog.
Yeah. Thing is, I didn't know what kind of cover I wanted, so I asked a lot of artists, and they came up with very cool comments and villages on fire and all this stuff. And it was also serious, you know. I wanted something that was kind of funny. because I don't want this to be a negative, depressive album. You know, I want it to be have a positive message like Carpe Diem, seize the day. So I really didn't know what I want, and at some point I said to my partner, I said, let's go to the beach with the doggy and let's take some photos and see what happens. So we went to the beach, and the doggy sat next to me. He's always next to me. He's next to me too now.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
he's always there, and at some point it was like, well, you know, what about very cool? I'm just sitting on the beach with my guitar, and behind me there's this huge asteroid, and I don't give a shit, you know. So I thought this album, this cover explains the story, you know, just in one photo, and also it's I think it will make people laugh a little bit. So.
I have to say that Yolanda and I have have the same favorite song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, which one is that?
It's Dr. Slumber Blue Bass.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, it's funny. It's a very happy song, you know, but it's about the bus that's going to drive you to your end, you know. So it's I love those contrasts where you have like a very happy song that's about a very sad topic. And it's funny as I said, Dr. Slumber is a character from my previous solo album. And the Blue Bus is actually I took that from a song from a band called The Doors. They had a song called The End, and the singer Jim Morrison, he's like totally stoned out of his head, and he's just babbling words, and he's all the time he's singing "The Blue Bus is calling us." So I thought it would be cool to you know, to take that line and use it for my album.
We don't have the lyrics, even I was trying to understand all of them, but
Okay.
there is not too much characters in this album, right? Or more or less
Uh,
same.
well, basically, like in this first song, The Clock Ticks Down, I sing about a lot of characters. You know, I kind of zoom in on what would people do if they only had few months to live, you know, which is like the woman who wants to see the sea one more
Mm.
time, or the father who wants to call his son, or the poor guy who doesn't want to live anymore and takes pills. So indeed, it's not a rock opera like I do with Arion. It's a rock opera, you know, because there's a lot of different characters there. But you're right. Basically, the main character is me, and then of course there's Irene Jansen who sings all the backing vocals, and there's Mike Mills who is a YouTuber who narrates the story.
I want to ask you about the final song, our final song. I think it's something special. It's the longest one. So, what
Mhm.
could you tell us about this song?
Well, on my previous solo album, again about my previous solo album, Lost in a New Reel, there is a very long song, a 12-minute song called Lost in a New Reel, and it's my favorite song ever. You know, it's so I said to myself, if I do another solo album, I need a long song like that song again. And it was a real challenge for me, you know, to make a song that long and make it interesting all the way through. Um, so I just started, you know, and everything came very spontaneously. All the ideas just flowed into the next idea. And at some point, I was like, well, you know, how much do I have now? I had no idea, and I put it all after each other, and it was like, whoa, 14 minutes. You know, that's cool. That's even longer than my previous song.
Okay, so female vocals. You have collaborations, plenty of them. I think Floriansen, of course. I think her sister is also collaborating in the album. I'm right or
Yeah, yeah.
not? Ah, okay.
Irene Jansen sings all the backing vocals, so she's on. I would say I would say I sing 80%. She sings about 15% of it.
Ah,
And then of course there's that amazing vocal of Floor Jansen in the song "We'll Never Know." It's a very sad song, you know. It's a song about a couple who are expecting a little baby girl, but they will never see her grow up because the asteroid will end humanity. So I thought there was only one person in the world who could sing that, who could sell that story. And that was Flora. And luckily, she loved the song and she loved the lyrics, and she put a lot of herself in it. So she did an amazing job.
do you think it's the album where most of the vocals are from females? Maybe it's my I don't know.
This album, you mean? No,
Yes.
no,
No.
no, I don't think so. I think on Arion albums, I often have female guests, and I also love female backing vocals. So a lot of my albums
Okay, so similar.
have
Okay.
female backing vocals. Yeah,
And Marcela Bobbio is in the album. So
for sure.
how important is she for Arjen Lucassen?
Very,
Because he sings.
very important. Very important. I first met her when I did the Human Equation, which was back in 2004. Um, it was cool. I had an idea. I had all these totally famous people on the album, but I also wanted someone who was unknown. So I had people send in demo tapes. And I think I got 200 demo tapes. It was amazing. And she was the best of all. So I invited her to come over and I worked on the Human Equation. And that went so well that ever since then I involved her in almost everything I do, also the live shows.
Okay, so next question. How do you decide if you're gonna compose one album for Iron, Star One, or for your solo project?
Well, usually I don't. Usually I just start, like I said, with my phone, and I have no idea what it's going to be. You know, I just let it develop organically. Um, Otherwise, I limit myself. But this time I did a lot of albums for other people. I did the solo album for Simone Simons, etc. So I thought it was time to do something for myself, you know. And because an aerial album takes me 2 years, and it's a lot of thinking, and it's a lot of logistics, and it's a lot of inviting singers and a lot of arranging. And I didn't feel like that. I felt like let's do something simple and let's do it all myself.
Hey, do you have plans to play this album live?
Actually, I already called this album "Songs No One Will Hear Live."
No, come on.
Because playing live really is not my thing anymore. I stopped doing that in the 90s, actually, like 30 years ago, because I'm just not very good at it. You know, I think I'm good at producing and writing albums, doing concept albums, doing rock operas. No, it's not planned to be live. But having said that, every 2 years we do Arion shows, and I could like put one song in an Arion show. We did that before.
And you always play Iron shows in the Netherlands. So,
Right, yeah. Yeah.
but you never had offers from big festivals like Wacken Open Air or Hellfest to play your stuff live?
Yeah, we got lots of offers. And we actually did one of the festivals. We did the Graspop Festival, uh,
In the
which was
Netherlands.
you was I think it was in Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Belgium,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. Yeah, yeah. It was with Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So yeah, we headlined the tent with Graspop. So we did it once, but it's hard to do, because the whole Arion setup is 100 people. It's of course it's all the musicians, and that's already like 25 to 30 people, and then there's the whole crew. So it's very complicated and also expensive to do that. So, but yeah, we also had an offer from another festival which we planned to do, and we already rehearsed for it, but then COVID came around. So yeah, who knows what happens in the future?
Yeah, that was one of my questions because we interviewed some of the artists of opera rock in Spain, and always they answer the same. It's really difficult to produce live shows of these kind of albums,
Right,
and
yeah.
it's a little bit sad, no? Because we only feel the half of the story, the album, and we are used to attend to concerts. So what's your opinion about this? So it's not economically feasible, just don't know, it's not a kind of genre that works in live shows.
Well, the thing is, if you're a band, you're on tour and you're well rehearsed, and it's 4 or 5 people, and then there's a crew around it. But this is a whole setup of 100 people, and one of the other big problems is we work with at least 10 singers in every show. Some show we even had 20 singers, and they all have their own bands. So they're all really busy. So to get all these singers together at the same spot is really hard. So if we do Arion shows, we already have to start 2 years in advance to arrange things. That's how complicated it is. So.
Hey, I have got two questions from a musician called Joaquin Padilla. He's an Arjen Lucassen fan, and he's
Cool.
doing rock operas like you. So the first one
Cool.
is going to be a part two of Supersonic Revolution.
It's hard to say because I have so many side projects now. I have Guild Machine, Gentle Storm, Stream of Passion, Ambion, Supersonic Revolution, Plan 9, Simone and Simons. So, and I think people are getting a bit tired of my side projects. I think so. I think every time I start a new side project, people are complaining a bit. They're like, "Hey, we want a new Arion. What are you doing? It's time for a new Arion." So I think next up is going to be a new Arion. But having said that, Supersonic Revolution was such fun to make that album because it was close friends. It was easy to make. So I would love to do another one, but no plans.
Okay, and the other one is a technical one. Which is the name of the Ibanez RG7 string guitar that you use for the rhythm guitar in your albums?
You mean does it have a name like Fred
Yes,
or?
he wants to know the model. Which one
Oh
is?
yeah, yeah, RG series. I have no idea what the model is. I'm very bad at that. It's a seven
Oh,
string RG series, and yeah, that's all I know. I can get it,
mm,
but I'll get it.
yes.
No he entendido la pregunta. I mean, the model of the guitar.
Sí, en
Ah,
concreto me lo pidió Joaquín Padilla. La pregunta técnica que está bien. Y ahora nos lo va a enseñar.
This is the one.
Ok.
What does it say? No, it just said thank you for buying at the American Guitar Store.
Ok.
okay.
No, yeah, well, it says here.
Ujú.
RG
RG
series.
series.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
We
all I
we
know.
will have a look.
Yeah, but it's my favorite guitar. I play everything with that guitar. It sounds the best, both distorted and clean. So try it out.
So Jordi talked about this. Joaquin Padilla, so it's let's say an artist that do opera rock in Spain. The call is Legado de una tragedia, legacy of a tragedy. But the question is, I don't know if you are in contact with other artists that do this kind of projects, even in the rest of Europe or in America, or even they try to contact you, because I think in this genre you are a reference.
Sorry, what's your question?
You know other artists, or you have been in contact with some of them?
I have no idea. No,
No.
I've no idea. Sorry.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
very bad at names. But I always each mail I get, I always answer.
Okay.
So
But you think my sentence, you are a reference in the field of opera rock. Do you feel like that?
that's a big compliment, and when I started ARJEN, people thought I was crazy because it was the 90s and it was the days of Nirvana and grunge music, and progressive rock operas were not done. They thought I was totally crazy when I started the progressive rock opera, and people thought there was no audience for it. And I did too. I just wanted to do a rock opera, and I did it, and no one knew it, but there was like an audience, an invisible audience that no one knew about, that bought the album, and it was a big surprise. So and a big honor, of course, that I'm able to inspire other musicians.
And do you think Electric Castle changed the world?
For me, it did, yeah. It because the first album, Final Experiment, was a moderate success. The second album, Actual Fancy, was not a success at all. So Electric Castle had to be the big one. It had to be so much over the top. I wanted people to either love it or hate it. And the album came out, and luckily people loved it. So that was the album that changed my life for sure.
I want to tell you that Ambient Project was an absolutely amazing album. It was something really special for the singer. She was, I don't remember, 12
14,
years, yeah,
14, yeah.
14 years old. Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to make like an instrumental album, like with all synthesizers. And then someone sent me a recording of her. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to that. I don't have time. It's a 14-year young Dutch girl. What the hell? So at some point I did listen to it. And I didn't believe what I was hearing. She's so incredibly talented. And she came in my studio, and that's the first time she was in the studio. And she did it perfectly. She wrote her own melodies, she wrote her own lyrics, and a really, really a huge talent.
Okay, so next question is a little bit strange, but I read, I don't know if from Wikipedia, I don't know where. You don't compose like reading scores or writing scores, with the notes in. So for me, it's kind of wonderful because you are really good composing, but how do you do?
I have no idea. I just, like I said, I recorded on my phone, and then I put it in the computer, and then I just work on it. And yeah, and I do a lot with MIDI. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's I don't really have to play keyboards. I can program it in the computer. Okay. And same goes for drums. I can program the drums, so I program everything. And then I sent it to the real musicians. So I don't send them scores or music tabs or whatever. I just sent them a recording, like this is what I want. And
but
they are all
nowadays this is
professionals.
possible because of computers, but in the 90s, that was not. Oh yeah.
There were computers, but it was a lot harder to do indeed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to send cassettes and dot tapes in the post, so it was different.
Hey, you had a really special guest in your albums, but I want to ask you about two personalities. Steve Vai was, I think, in your last album. I suppose was a dream come true, and Roger Hauer, the actor, the Dutch actor.
Right, right.
So, how important were these collaborations for
It's
you?
a total dream come true because as a kid, Steve Vai was my favorite guitar player. It was, Richard Blackmore, Eddie Van Halen, and Steve Vai, and um, the fact that he plays a solo and a really long solo too, on my album is totally a dream come true. And I think the solo was 2 or 3 minutes, and he really did his best for me, little nobody. And Rutger Hauer, same thing. I grew up watching his movies in Holland, and also his first TV shows, which was like he was like a medieval knight, and it was very funny. Um, so yeah, Rutger Hauer, to be able to talk to your favorite actor like we talk to each other now, that's really very strange.
Do you have a dream, a musician, actor as a guest for your future album?
Oh yeah, yeah. The list is endless. I grew up in the 60s. And all those people I listened to, like Pink Floyd or Beatles or Led Zeppelin, or Black Sabbath or all these bands, if I could work with these people, that's a dream come true. But they don't know who I am, so it's not
Yet.
easy. Yet, yeah, maybe one day. But
And
but yeah, yeah,
sorry,
they're 80 years old now, so
now or
I
never.
have to be fast, yeah.
And did you receive any negative or no from someone to enroll in the project?
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, there are a lot of people who don't do it. So especially in the beginning when people didn't know who I am. And I have to say, everyone who is not in prog or metal says no. I love to work with people who are not in that music style, but it's impossible, As soon as I say I make prog music or I make metal music, they're like, oh no, no, we're not gonna do that.
Oh, interesting.
So
Interesting,
yeah,
really. Yeah.
yeah. So far, I guess that's why it's called prog, because you have an open mind. If some kind of pop artist would ask me, I would say yes. It would be a challenge to do that, but no,
We are the
unfortunately.
misfits.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Let's talk about your health. Last time I talked with you, you suffered from tinnitus. So, is
Yeah,
everything better?
no, no, we'll never get better. It only gets worse because, you have in-ears, or I always have my headphones really loud, and I work out a lot, I'm rowing, and then I have like music blasting on my headphones. So it only gets worse. So yeah, nothing to do about it.
And do you use tabs when you attend concerts?
I never go to concerts anymore, but yeah, I if I do, I put in the little earplugs.
Well
But
done.
Yeah. But I played live myself in the 70s and in the 80s and in the 90s. And you didn't think about that, You just wanted it to be loud, and the drums were next to my ears. So I'm sure I got a lot of damage from those years.
but you played in a festival, okay, in Belgium.
Yeah.
So you had the opportunity to attend to some other concerts. Did you?
No, no, I'm way too nervous then. No, way
Yeah.
too nervous. I'm just standing backstage. When do I go on stage? And also we played the last. We were the headliner. So we came as late as possible. I came as late as possible. So no, I didn't see anything else.
Do you think it's time to go for the classic ones, or?
Yes, I think it's
Yeah, because you have more interviews later, right?
Yeah, I have one at actually in 1 minute.
Okay,
okay.
so fast. Yeah. Do you remember the last time that you cried in a, okay, you don't attend concerts, but in a concert, which band and which song?
Well, that definitely was the last ARJEN shows, you know. Every time a singer goes on stage and they sing my song and they really, really do a good job, I got tears rolling down. I think we were talking about gospel. We actually had my favorite singer that I grew up listening to, the singer of the Golden Earring. He's called Perry Hay. You might know them from Radar Love. They had a big hit with Radar Love. And
Reader Love. Yeah.
yeah, he's one of my heroes. And he went on stage and we played a little bit of Radar Love, and the audience didn't expect it. And that moment I was like really crying like crazy.
Beautiful. Okay, the last one is not a question, it's just a favor. If you can say, hello, this is Arjen Lucassen. Please check out my interview with Starway to
Starway
Rock.
to Rock.
Okay, cool. Hi, this is Arjen Lucassen from ARJEN and many other side projects, and you're listening to Stairway to Rock.
Lovely. Thank
Perfect.
you very much.
Cool.
Thank you. We've got in our staff a lot of people who loves your projects, and some we got a friend that travels every time you play in
Whoa,
Netherlands.
the
amazing.
Netherlands.
Amazing.
This interview is a dream for him. So
Cool.
some questions came from him. Thank
Okay,
you.
cool.
Thank you very
Please say
much.
hi to him for me. And thank you very much. Talk to you next time, maybe.
Perfect.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.